definitely have to take care of that.
Listen, I got to tell money, at least not yet. It's coming.
We definitely
gotta take care of that. Y'all ready?
Yes. We tapped them.
All right. Come on, intro killer. Come on. Show them how you do
You
it.
better cut this part out.
Only go
He's not gonna cut it off.
Welcome everybody to the Pull Up Experience Podcast
What's
edition.
What's up, y'all?
Today, as y'all can see, I'm wearing my signature yellow beneficial bay, as some haters will call it, the mask suit. And it's all because today we are going all over marketing and branding and growing and knowing who you are and how to get out networking. We are here with the queen of it all herself, the owner of High Crown Marketing Group, Miss The Crystal, the Porthro Ramos. Yes. And even though we always talk about branding, because he be looking crazy, today we're going to talk about branding and actually growing your business. So without further ado, introduce yourself to the people, Crystal, and let them know more about who you are.
Yes, so my name is Crystal, and I take pride in having High Crown Marketing. In addition to doing marketing, I also work in the nonprofit field, and I do subcontracting, like freelance work for Cricket Wireless, authorized retailer. So a lot of the marketing and branding that you see in certain parts of Cleveland, I take, I guess, good job, thumbs up for doing some of that marketing stuff.
Yes.
So I look forward to diving in deep and getting grilled about branding and marketing, especially getting into the arenas of where networking and getting clients that way as well.
Okay, it's gonna be a good episode. Y'all better get y'all pads out and getting the notes. There's about to be a lot of gems to drop. So we might get right into it. So why did you get into marketing and branding? Like, what appealed to you to say, you know what, it's what, so I want to go into a little bit further?
Yeah, so I went to a digital arts-based high school. So pretty much like 90% of the curriculum was all on the computer. They try to like kind of stem away from textbooks and just focus on technology. So that's where I was like really introduced to Photoshop and website building. And then after that, I went to Cleveland State and I got my degree in business and pursued that and going into the nonprofit field. But I was always doing freelance work to kind of pay for my stuff in college. So I was doing like, like going to car washes and making flyers for them and making flyers for like local nail artists and beauty salons. Like, hey, anybody got a promotion going on? And just like making quick flyers, like, in Paint, Microsoft Paint. So this was like before Photoshop and all that stuff came out. So I kind of did that always like as a side hustle. And then I started pursuing freelancing, and then I was going into like non-compete clauses. So I was doing stuff for like major brands, but I would sign non-compete clauses, and it was like I would get paid coins. And then you would see stuff like, on Amazon and Walmart and like major branding platforms. And it was like, okay, you did our project for us, we paid you $100. But you can't sign with anybody else for like 6 months.
Whoa.
And it was like, I don't want to do that anymore. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go out there and just start, I just started making and designing and making sure I wasn't signing those kind of deals.
I'm glad you explained it, because I was going to say, Keita didn't know what non-competing clauses were, so I want to make sure.
Yes. Okay, so
the ones in the bag.
So so non-compete is when someone says, first they make you sign an NDA and they say, okay, I want to talk about my ideas and my thoughts with you and, kind of want to brainstorm and come with a strategic plan. So you sign an NDA because you're like, okay, I'm going to keep it a secret and I'm not going to talk to nobody about what we talk about. And then once they're like, okay, we like you, we love your work, we want to sign with you, but you got to sign this first. And so at first I was like so eager, like, oh my God, I'm going to do a design for national brand, I'm not allowed to say. And then I was, right, for blank. And then, man, I was seeing my stuff. Like I was seeing my stuff in the Black Friday ads, on the website. And then it was like, okay, when I read everything, they're like, okay, by the way, we just kind of want to touch a few talking points. You can't work with anyone else that's like in the same commerce that we are. So if Target had something open for like freelance or graphic design, I can't. I have to wait like 18 months. So it was like, oh my goodness, like, I was missing out on money, but at the same time, like, I'm doing good work, but you don't know it when you pick up that ad.
I'm gonna ask you,
you don't know it if you're clicking the ad on the computer.
Wow.
Like, you wouldn't know know that,
Mhm.
you know. So there was like, man, I kind of want my recognition,
That's crazy.
you know.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and I'm just gonna like really put a stamp on myself and establish an LLC and get my business together, create a portfolio, and like start putting my name on things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got into doing high crime marketing.
No, that sounds dope. So I'm pretty sure. I can't even ask you, like, did you do this? Did you do that? Because like, I know back in the day, those ads like right for Black Friday used to be major. You know?
Oh yes, oh yes. So I did a few of those, and it was just so hard not to tell anybody. So like, you know, I would like call people like, did you get the mail? Did you see the ads? What you think about page number 5?
You got to drop clues on.
What about page number 5? Did the colors appeal to you?
No, that's what's up. That's what's up for real.
So yeah, those non-compete clauses, man, like if you're starting out and you just want the experience of being able to just navigate within that system, it works for you. Yeah. But then when you actually know that you've invested in yourself and you really want to branch out, man, they hurt.
I'm sure.
So much.
I'm sure.
Well, shoot, I know a lot of our audience. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I know a lot of our audience members. They're beginning entrepreneurs, right? So I want to get into the weeds of how. If I'm just starting out my business, how do I market my business? How do I go about it if I'm just starting on a budget?
So the first thing that I always tell people is I need to know what you do. Mm. So, you know, when some people, when they first want to establish themselves, you know, they're like, okay, I need a logo, which is true because you need an identifier. I can go out, like I can go on the street and I can tell somebody that I'm a graphic designer and they're gonna be like, okay, good job for you. But you know, think about like when you see the Nike logo, when you see the Adidas sign, like when there's certain emblems or logos that you see, you know it, and then you put quality to it. So like the first thing I always tell people is find an identifier, find something that's gonna brand you. And if you're not ready for a logo, that's fine. But then your signature yellow, that's your identifier.
Please don't do it. I'm trying to.
It is.
I know it is. I'm not hating.
And if you is hating, you smoking. Okay. You know what it is.
So that's the first thing. And then I always tell people that you need to have a portfolio. So you know whether you're a clothes designer, if you're a graphic designer, or if you're a music artist, you need to have a portfolio. Because I need to be able to see that if you're looking for my investment to, you know, whether I want you to make a beat for me or design clothes for me, I want to be able to say, show me your work. And when I first became a graphic designer, I can tell you like the first 100 pages of my portfolio were not businesses. I sat and I brainstormed and I thought of like random business names. I went to the Ohio Secretary of State website and I just was like, okay, I want to, you know, I needed to figure out what my clientele was. And at the time it was like beauty, right? Like everybody wants to do hair, everybody wants to do nails, everybody's a makeup artist. So I would go to the Ohio Secretary of State business website and I would just type in studio. I would type in beauty. And I would see the names and I'm like, okay, what do I think? And I would just start getting on the computer, sketching stuff out and like just make a logo and I would just put it on my portfolio. So I would do that like 3-4 times a week. And then all of a sudden like I started getting the traction and people were like, oh, I like what you did with these colors. Oh, I like this style. Can you do it with my name? So that's how I had to create my portfolio.
I hope y'all listen. I hope she drops.
That's how we do it.
I keep on saying I'm bringing bombs back, but don't to y'all.
It's not happening.
It's not happening. But it is what it is. But I hope y'all got what she said with that. She said before the work came, she was doing the work already. You know, she was already in the process of making designs, not even for legitimate businesses, but for businesses that were actually out there and then actually doing the work then, because that way she showed her prospective clients like, hey, listen, I've done this design right here. And I think that's just genius, and I think that can be applied to any industry. For your
a portfolio,
exactly. For doing nails, you can do your own nails, you do your grandma's nails, and like, look at these nails I did right here. You know, that's a real gem right there.
So how about this? Because I think a lot of people use the two words interchangeably, but it would be nice for people to know the difference between building a brand and then marketing the brand you build, because those are two separate parts of the business.
Yes, and I tell people that all the time. So your brand is what is the vision that you want your potential client to have of you. So, you know, when you think of like luxury, you're not gonna be like Walmart, right?
Mhm.
Because Walmart is selling you Walmart is selling you the brand of reliability, convenience, efficient, right? Affordability. You know, we're large, we house everything that you need, come in, come
One-stop
out.
shop.
Right. But when you think of Target, right? Target, you're kind of like, I need to make sure my wallet is right? I need to make sure, because I'm going to walk in and I'm going to get some stuff that I ain't even nowhere near on my list.
Right.
And it's not that they're
time.
right. It's not that they're too much different, you know, because they have the they have the produce section, they have the beauty section, they have the clothes, but it's the branding, So I always tell people that branding is the vision and the feeling that you want to leave with your client. You know, because so I get so many so many people request like glitter logos, but it's like, okay, what do you want to do? Well, I do high-end hair, I do the extensions, I travel. Okay, so if I see a hot pink glitter logo, I'm not gonna get that from you, right? You want to look at something that's gonna be bold and that's gonna speak to your client. And I always tell people that because you do hair does not mean that you need to have like a brush or a comb in your logo. You know, because you fix cars doesn't mean you need to have tires in your logo.
Right.
It's always about the way. Of course, it's always about like the topography and the style.
Right.
But I always try to explain to my clients about color psychology.
Ooh, I was about to say we could get into that because like she stole my yellow, by the way. I had yellow first, by the way.
Boy, first of all, technically it was gold and black was mine.
I was saying,
we talking luxury here.
I want the record to show.
About that.
You know what I'm saying? I had it first.
Because listen, while you talk about yellow, since we talk about colors, and not to cut you off, but
You're fine.
so yellow, all right, bright, front, new, and then too much yellow, caution, back up. That's why you gotta be careful when you play with it. So yeah, I'm a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm bright, front, and new, but you get to talking wrong. Okay. I'm on brand here.
But the reason why I chose yellow because, like I said, yellow means vibrant, youthful, and like my market. I don't understand my clientele. My market is millennials, people from the age group of 25, 35, like myself or whatnot. So
You did your homework?
you're real funny. It's some type of stuff up here. It's not just all, you know.
But that's a good point too. A lot of clients, a lot of establishing businesses need to identify like a target audience.
Right.
Like you need to find your close circle of people. You know, like when people want to become business owners or entrepreneurs or even directors, they always think like they want to service like Cleveland is mine. Well, Cleveland has so many people, but I can tell you for a fact like my graphic design wouldn't appeal to everybody. So if I'm designing logos for everybody, then what are the chances that I can actually lock in a loyal client base?
That's good.
So that was a good point that you brought in on your target audience. And yellow is actually not being associated with new beginnings. So I think that fits really well with you being in the real estate market.
No, listen, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hater, you a hater.
I'm not a hater. I said you're good. You're just trying to steal my swag.
But
That's not it.
and I want to do like the houses, so mine's like you look like a highlighter when you highlight stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like a swipe. Now, I
Who
didn't.
you steal that from?
Time out. So anybody who knows,
What they need to know. Everybody who's been following us for a minute. Who you steal it from?
Shout out to Molly, by the way, because I not Molly Woodward because
Molly?
Madi. I'm sorry, Madi. Ooh, Lord jeez. I'm sorry. But you know how you have a great idea? I'm like, man, I got a great idea. You don't know where you get it from until you do it. I'm like, where the hell I get that from? I went on the page. I'm like, oh, snap.
That's where you got it.
That's where I got it from. But it's a great idea. You know what I'm saying? It's a great idea. You know what I'm saying? But just clear, get off the record, you know. You go to the brand anyway, so it's all right. I'll get the scraps. It's cool.
So, Crystal, what all does High Crown offer a client?
So I am a full service marketing firm. So I do everything from just the graphic design logos up to print and design, social media marketing, advertising. I've done a few billboards.
Nice.
I've done bus reps, truck reps. So yeah, I do everything from your basic design all the way up to full marketing.
So did you have a passion for like art or drawing or painting or any of that before?
So I am a horrible doodler.
Really?
I have been a doodler since like elementary school. I mean, I remember like submitting my test with like, "Where's Waldo" on a corner. So
I know it's a difference with the computer though.
It is, but just and not necessarily saying doodler, but like I was like really into like symmetry and, you know, like
Gotcha.
composition and that type
Gotcha.
of designing. When I got my degrees, like I didn't get anything in graphic design. I got mines in like business communication, you know, nonprofit management, and I was like self-taught. So I took like a few college level marketing and designing courses, but I was like on YouTube faithfully. Like anytime there was like a new update, a new system like Procreate, Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, I was like jumping on whatever was free.
Yeah.
And I was just teaching myself and sitting up at night and just like watching and, you know, using the tools and following other designers and doing stuff like that. But yeah, I was like self-taught. Like if you, even in college, like what you're gonna need to know to navigate the streets, they're not gonna teach you in the books.
Absolutely not.
You know, like you have to have that passion and especially the discipline to go out and figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like when I get clients and they're like, okay, I'm thinking about doing this and I want to open a shop, and like they have like the beautiful dream, and I'm like, okay, what is the first step like that you've taken so far? And it's like, oh well, you know, we need to sit down and brainstorm. Like I can be a brand strategist, but like I'm not gonna be able to provide you that passion and discipline that you're gonna need to pursue it.
That's good.
I'm so glad you said that, because listening to you say that you were faithfully on YouTube, you know, you would watch it as much as you could, anything that was free. It does take that. It does take the discipline. It does take the passion and the really, really wanting to get there. And excuse me. And if you have something like, I mean, you can find everything on YouTube pretty much. But you have to take the time out to start researching and doing everything you can in order to make it happen.
And I say YouTube because it's like easily accessible.
Yeah.
You know, like of course there's like paid courses, and I got student loans. So like YouTube courses for me made sense.
Right.
You know, and just and an investment isn't always the money. It's the time. Like the time that you're taking to learn. Right. Like the investment is the time. And I was taking the time, like sitting watching YouTube, and you know, taking a break with the YouTube ads, but like jumping on, taking notes, like you know, having dual screens. So whatever this guy was doing, I was doing over here. And like you know, you definitely have to compete with the times. You know, but yeah, I was just making sure that I was always like one step up, always. And then you always have clients that come ask for something crazy. Like, you know, they're like, can I get a 3D whatever? And it's like, you know, do I want to say, oh, no? Like, I never tell client, no, I don't know how to do it. I'm just like, you know, I say, hey, yes. I'm like, you know what? Send me a few notes, what you like to see, what colors you want to work with, what elements. And then as soon as we hang up, I'm like, 3D logos and, you know, 3D animation. Like, you know, I'm teaching myself.
That was my next question.
Yeah,
are you still researching and learning? Because I know you have to stay relevant in something like that. You have to stay with the times and make everything kind of trendy. So that was my next question.
Yes, always. And and every client that I have, sometimes you have the clients that think they know more than you.
Sometimes?
Yes, sometimes. But then sometimes I have clients that actually teach me. You know, like, you know, they're like, I want something like this. And it may be something I've never seen before. And, you know, I always take that opportunity to learn from them as well. You know, it may be colors that I'll be like, you sure you want those colors together? But, you know, after you, like, blend and mix and, you know, and it's like, oh, yeah, these colors work. So, yeah, I always make sure that I learn from my clients. But sometimes you have those that are like, you know, well, I could just do this myself. And I'm like, okay.
Right. You said we're going ahead.
Right.
I see when get back.
Right. And they come back. But yeah, always learning. Always learning.
That's good stuff. So let me ask you this. So pretty much take me through a consultation with you. If I'm a new entrepreneur and I want to work with you, what would I need to bring to the table to work with you?
So the first conversation that we have is going to be between 15 to 25 minute consultation. I always offer it by phone or Zoom, but I always tell people I prefer Zoom. Because I'd like to have that, you know, I like to have that conversation plus like the body language and the facial expression, so more volumes of what's going to come out of your mouth.
That's good.
And then I just kind of ask where you are. You know, a lot of people say, well, I have this idea, and it's like, okay. You know, but where are you with that idea? You know, like, you know, how much have you already put into establishing like this business or this brand? And then I always ask two questions. I ask, you know, what is the purpose behind your brand? And then And then what is the mission of your brand? And I always tell people, no matter what field you're in, you have a purpose and you have a mission. You know, so for a perfect example with you, you know, being a real estate agent, like your purpose is to make sure that people find the house of their dreams, right? I hope I can find a place where you can feel established and expand your life and create a family.
Right.
And then, you know, like, what is your mission? Your mission is going to be like, what is your ultimate goal? You know, like at the end, once we all sit down and we say, okay, what did Brandon do with all that yellow? You know, we're going to look back and say, like, Brandon was able to find homes for like 120 people, you know, throughout his real estate career. And he, you know, he really penetrated the South Euclid market. You know, like, so those are examples that I give my clients. And I'm like, you know, how comfortable or where do you see yourself being able to hold this conversation in a room?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them are like, oh, well, you know, well, I know that I can do nails. And I've been doing nails for like a couple months, but a lot of people come to me. It's like, okay, but what is, you know, like, what is driving you to say that? Like, people need to come to me to get their nails done. And this, like, and my mission is to, you know, do you want to make them feel good about themselves? Like, you know, are you, you know,
it's deeper than, it got to be deeper than just that.
Right. Because I mean, you know, when you sit in your barber's chair, when you sit in the nail tech's chair, like, that's a relationship. And people, you know, people don't understand that, but that's the same relationship that you need to build when you're creating your branding and your marketing materials. You know, so like, you know, like when you pick my, you like when somebody picks up your business card, you know, it's like, you know, like the colors even play something, and it's like, oh, you know, the colors are fun. It looks like, you know, this is going to be a good place. I want to stop by. And that's like the same relationship you want to build with like your social media account, having like the consistency in your branding.
That's a good one.
You know, with anything that you're doing as far as it relates to your brand.
So I want to get to that social media piece, because I think a lot of people don't understand social media is a key component in your marketing. It's just not like something you just do just to be doing it or whatnot. So what are some points you can get to our entrepreneurs about how they can set their social media to where it can become marketable and their brand can expand?
So the first thing I always tell people is when you're creating your social media, like, you need to be, no one's gonna read like Webster's dictionary in your bio. We're not. Like, when we go to the page, we look at your avatar. And, you know, that's the icon at the top. And I always tell people, like, if you're going to use your face, make sure you're smiling. Especially if you're going to ask people to pay you for anything.
I'm a thug, am I? Why y'all look at me like that?
Carry on. Please. Please.
Oh my God, I wanted to get my phone and unfollow.
We all know you out here hugging and not thugging.
I tried.
But now that we all know. But I always tell people in the bio, you know, make sure that you let them know what it is that you do. Do not put hashtags in your bio. The hashtags are for the content. You know, using hashtag marketing, which actually, it actually works. But you need to be consistent when you're using the hashtags. Like, every day, don't switch it up. You know, be consistent, because how are you going to know if it's working? So a lot of, with my social media marketing accounts, I always rotate them monthly. And depending, like, you know, what type of app or what type of program that you use, it will tell you how many of the, you know, which hashtags are getting the most hits.
You give them all.
So that always works, you know, because sometimes people are like, I have $50, I want to boost my ad. Well, the more views doesn't mean that you're guaranteed the most followers.
Right.
But I always tell people too, like, don't focus on the followers, because the followers are not going to get you paid.
Absolutely.
You know, but you know, focus on the hashtag marketing. I think that's like the easiest free marketing that you can use. Is focus on the hashtag marketing, and then always understanding the algorithm. So Instagram is a visual platform. So understanding the algorithm is like knowing that reels and videos are going to play more of a role for you than actually just posting photos. So, you know, always take advantage of the new wave. The trick with the Instagram reels is, don't choose the reel that has like the most reposts, right? Like, how many times have you guys scrolled and heard like the same song like 50 times? Always find a reel that's trending. So like one that probably has 200 or 300 reposts, because that means that it's like, it's getting up there. Right. Don't get one that's already been used like, please. Plus we're like,
no more hours and hours, y'all.
Right.
Oh, it drives me crazy.
Yes, please stop. And hashtags that are relevant to your brand.
Mhm.
Like, don't use one because it's popular. Like, it's you'd be surprised. Like, I see so many stuff, and then people are using like Kanye and Kim Kardashian. Like, what does that have to do with you selling like, or fixing bicycles? Like, what are you doing? You know, like, so, you know, make sure that they're relevant to your brand. And then always be consistent in the branding. Like, if you know that your color palette is like yellow, black, and red, or yellow, black, and gray, stay consistent with that.
Right.
Because even if they're not on your page, but you may appear on the Explorer page, they know that that's branded.
Mm.
So, you know, I always pick with like the burgundy and orange. And what's funny is that people baiters that like take your work and repost it. You know, I'll get notifications. It's like, hey, I've seen your work like on this person's page, and I'm like, okay, go and report it. But it's because they were able to identify my branding.
That's dope right there.
So like branding is always very important, and I always tell people like no matter what you post, even if we take a selfie, like put your logo on it, brand it.
I wish I would have stuff.
But I always say
Y'all funny,
I'm
man.
just kidding, Ron. Y'all know, not your average age.
Y'all funny,
Go
man.
buy a house, I'm just saying.
Hilarious. Nah, y'all comedians though.
you said go buy a house, like we was gonna pull up to the drive-thru.
So I got a question. So people are I dabble in the hashtags, right? So how do I prevent myself from getting shadow banned for using the same hashtag over and over again?
So you don't get shadow banned for using those same hashtags.
Get out of here.
You actually get
You
shadow
were
banned.
wrong. What you call it? Can't even say their name.
Oh, well, don't say okay. Don't say that.
Yeah, I said that.
But no, consistent hashtag marketing is like important. So you don't get banned for using the same ones, but you need to be careful on like how you're typing them out. So if you know, like if I'm branding myself and I put hashtag high, hashtag crown, like don't do that. Because like if hashtag high, I'm automatically gonna be associated with 420 tomorrow.
Oh.
So if you
You don't know what your dates is anymore.
I know, I did get lost, but
see, that's what happens
when
you an A1 entrepreneur, you lose track of the calendar.
I sure didn't think it was that late in April.
But yeah, so like, you know, do ones like don't do like hashtag not, hashtag your, hashtag like people do that, and then that becomes that appears as spam. And then they may shadow ban you like, oh, you may be a spam account because who is hashtagging that?
That's good. That's good stuff. I know for me, like I'll because and like I'm learning, y'all. I hope y'all learn because I'm learning a lot tonight.
Definitely am.
Because I will use hashtags, but I'll mix them up. I'll be like, all right, this week I'm gonna go about this one, instead of not like understanding the consistency of having for 1 month and then seeing my progress from using analytics on top of that. Like, so I want to get to that analytics. How important analytics for an entrepreneur?
Very important because you're gonna know what your audience likes and doesn't like. But I always tell people don't delete anything. Some people like, you know, they'll post something up and they'll only get 20 likes and they're like, I'm gonna delete it because that's not enough for me.
Some people
but please don't do that. No, don't do that. Because the more frequent that you're posting, the more engagement or impressions that the algorithm sees your account is getting.
So how often do you suggest posting for a business?
That depends on what field you're in.
Okay.
So I'm in marketing, I'm in social media marketing, I'm in graphic design. So I try to be consistent and post it like 2-3 times a day. You know, if you're selling a house, maybe like post maybe, you know, 1 or 2 times every other day, you know. But it depends on what field you're in. Because if I'm looking to buy a house, but I see you keep posting the same house every single day, I'm like, well, you ain't doing this job. You know, but if I'm posting my logos every day and, you know, my websites and my social media marketing, they're like, oh, she's busy, she's relevant. Like, I need to see why why people are going to for her designs. But, you know, if you're posting house every other day, they're like, man, like he's busy, he's in the field. I need to catch him.
So I know for me, like I try to do something. This is my formula, y'all. Y'all welcome to steal if y'all want to. You know what I'm saying? So I try to put something relevant, something trending, some informational, so that make a carousel. Shout out to Beneficial Bag because you know what I'm saying, she's the queen of
stole my stuff.
I do some other stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I plagiarize. You know what I'm saying? So carousel, some information, and like every once in a while I like to show my face. You know what I'm saying? Bless the internet with my face every once in a while.
That's important because you don't want people to think you're a robot.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's my formula. Cause I post about Once a day? I know y'all get tired of myself.
That's
Once
not
a day?
true.
Yeah, I know you
That's
don't post
not
once
true.
a day. You
I
post
know,
more
More
than
than
once
once a day.
I-
You post more than once
I've
a
been
day.
slipping. I've been slipping lately, you know what I'm saying? But I'm getting back on it, you know what I'm saying?
No, period. You still post more than once
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah, okay, you're right. My bad. But that's the formula I use though. But I feel like it's relevant because my thing is like I want the saves. Forget your likes. Save.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's actually number one in the algorithm. Is
Yeah.
being bookmarked or saved.
I know a little something.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I try.
So after being saved, like number one is being saved. And the most posts that are going to get you saved is, like you said, the informational posts. So if you know, we're going to use as an example, buying tips, what tips you need to make sure that your credit is, ready, letting them know that they need a pre-approval letter before they're buying a house.
So I have my on my page, guys. Check it out.
So like those type of tips, and then the second one that is really good is showing them like in the process of what you're doing. I jump on Instagram Live and I save them on a reel too. Is like I show people like making a logo from beginning to end. I don't want everyone to think like the finished product is always like this chrome looking glitzy thing, but showing them the steps. So not only does that let them know like, okay, she knows what she's doing, she knows how to navigate the system, but showing that there's steps to this. So those are kind of the top two ones. And of course it's always good to show your face, because if you're not showing your face and you're like in somebody's DM telling them they want an iPhone, but that always works.
So I got a question. So this crazy part about we're all introverts here, right? What do you suggest a person who's introverted to help themselves market their brand? For someone who doesn't like being in front of cameras, so someone who doesn't like being on lives.
Introverts being able to market their brand, there are several ways that you can do videos and reels where you don't have to show your face. So always take advantage, like even if you don't have an app or computer software, Instagram and Facebook give you a lot of tools where you can kind of play with the videos and being able to add words and stickers and stuff to be able to still show people what's popular and what's new. I always tell people to take advantage of all the tools, especially the free apps that are out there, and I can share them with you and you can put them in the captions like when you upload this. There's a lot of free apps that you can use. You don't always need to show your face, but sometimes people like to know or like to be able to connect with someone behind the brand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I mean, if you buy something, I don't want to think like I'm buying from a robot.
Right.
So it's always good to kind of peek out and be like, hey, it's me.
Right.
And then kind of hide back into your hole. But there are a lot of apps that would be able to support introverts that are still looking to kind of jump into that field.
No, it's kind of for me like the insights. Like everyone gets hung up on the likes. I don't get hung up on likes anymore. Like I'm
likes mean nothing anymore unless you got like 20,000 followers and they start paying you like a penny.
I start getting paid. I'm tripping.
They demonetize Instagram, not like they do it on Facebook, but Instagram, they only paying for reels. Even the long form videos are gone.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
They sent me something about that.
I'm slipping.
Yeah.
Get paid.
Get paid, look.
So
I got a question,
Okay.
because you've been asking everything. I know that you be out here in these Cleveland streets like nobody's business, and we are big on building a strong network and getting out there, even as introverts. So tell us more about that, like how you even gotten to the point where you're like, outside open, if you're doing something, I'm coming to support you. If I'm doing something, I'm inviting you to support me. How do we get there?
Oh my goodness. So you need to find where your clients are. And I know that my clients are at pop-up shops. So I'm not necessarily a vendor, but I would reach out to the host and I'll say, hey, I see that you're doing a pop-up shop Saturday from da-da-da-da-da. Can I come and meet your vendors? During setup time. I'm not gonna come while they're trying to sell, come during setup time. And I would go to each vendor's table and I would say, hey, my name is Crystal. I love your brand. I love your setup. How can I support you? How can I provide you more tools for you to be able to reach out further than what you already have? And people are on it. The reason that they're at this pop-up shop is because they want exposure.
Right.
So I give them my card, I make customized packages for them. I would say, hey, at your next pop-up shop, I want to be able to give you 200 business cards We'll design them together. I will not charge you. And then if you like and if they work for you, let's talk about rebranding your logo. Let's talk about your social media presence. And it always works, because if I am willing to take my time to create something like that for you, and I don't know you, you know, people are like, wow, yeah, like, let's talk about my logo. Let's talk about my website. Let's talk about my social media. So I do that at every pop-up shop. Like, if my schedule is open and I can be there, I reach out to the host, say, hey, you know what? I don't want a vendor's table, but this is what I want to do.
Right. Chris, you just broke down the whole thing, like, just an offering spirit. Like, the fact that you came in and said, how can I help you? Not like, hey, I just offer off top. You like, well, how can I help you in your business? And offer that, you're able to create a customized offer that helps that initial person to drive their business a little closer. I mean, that works for so many different people in so many different fields. That ain't funny. Like, that wasn't just.
I encourage that for anybody that's at every field, because like the first thing people see, like when you pulling out a business card, is like, oh my God, like what do they want from me?
Right.
What do I have to pay?
What are you trying to sell me?
How much is this gonna be?
Right.
And it, you know, and it's not like that. I'm just like, you know, hey, your table looks bomb. You know, like I love that you're making customized bath soaps. Like I love that, you know, you stitch and design your own clothes. Like I love that you're bejeweling Crocs. You know, how can I help you get more customers to come to you? You know, how can we ensure that everybody is getting these Crocs?
Right.
And then going from there. And then I do a lot of networking events, in corporate and nonprofit ones as well. The trick for people who are, you know, like have the tool of like branding and marketing is working with nonprofits and then being able to get them to sign you into their grants. Which is like guaranteed income. And that's what I initially first did, is like I first was focusing on nonprofit organizations. And one is because, you know, nonprofits have such a great community-based cause and relationship with community partners. But, you know, not everybody is running to go follow a nonprofit on Instagram, right?
They hear nonprofit, ain't no money in it.
Exactly. So they need help with the branding and, you know, and building that relationship with community partners. So, you know, I say, hey, I can offer you this. I can offer you social media marketing support, digital media design. I can redesign your website so that it's more appealing, more modern, up to date. And, you know, we can recruit and we can market and we can show your cost.
That's good.
You know, and then you provide them a proposal, an estimate, and then you're literally written into their grant. So you have like guaranteed income for 6 months to a year. So that's like how I first started like generating the money for High Crown Marketing.
That is good right there. That's the whole gem right there.
And then, you know, after doing that, you know, it was other nonprofits that were like, well, you know, hey, who did your new brochures? Who did your website? And then I was building relationships with other nonprofits.
Yeah.
You know, and then I would, you know, making social media flyers, doing other website revamps. And, you know, that like I can confidently say that I do get like for-profit and I get, you know, other logos and stuff, but like my specific focus is like the nonprofit 501c3s, being able to help them establish their brand and helping and supporting them when they're doing the grant writing, because they have that marketing and recruitment aspect just off that type of design.
That's good. That's guaranteed money, because you said it's written in there. You know, I see the money. I see my money.
So we got 3 more months of business cards, logos, and websites. Like so it's a guaranteed deposit.
That's good. Shoot.
Way to go.
No, listen. I'm over here like, how can I get me selling houses in nonprofit space? But I'm working that later. That's good stuff though.
You can work with nonprofits. You need to find people that help aging out youth. And like those that are aging out of foster care, being able to say, hey, we can find you homes that can accommodate, you know, get grants and get funding support to be able to help like purchase the house with utilities and providing supplemental income to the kids with financial literacy. And there you go, you got a couple houses on the block.
I'm steal my stuff, y'all. She gave it to me first. I'm gonna be on there tonight. That's good stuff. No, we appreciate it. I appreciate it. Shoot.
And always do your homework. Like I always tell people, always do your homework. You know, some people just, they want to jump in, and you know, being an entrepreneur is a great feeling, right? Like being able to say like, I own that, that's mine, is such a great feeling. But you also need to do your homework on the back end, you know, like being able to do your books, your accounting, you know, being able to maintain, like three most important aspects of having your own business is having an identifier. So
Yeah.
having like a brand, you know, whether it's a logo, whether it's a color scheme that you're working with, having a website, even if it's just a landing page, you know, but people want to be able to hear and see you and then be able to like find you. Like, it's so weird, but like, how many times you guys hear like a restaurant or something new and the first thing you do is like go to Google and look for the reviews,
Right.
Oh, definitely.
right?
Every
So,
time.
and then the third thing is having an email list. So everywhere I go, like, I'm collecting business cards and I'm adding them to my email list. And then at the end of the night, like, I'm following up with them. You know, hey, I met you at the pop-up shop
That's
in
good stuff,
Garfield
yeah.
Heights, and you know, you had a great presentation. Save my information, but make sure that you're always keeping like an email list or contacts, because then when you're ready to get out there and ready to establish yourself or invite me to your business shower, you got my information.
That's right.
You know, so.
So let me ask, so I debate people all the time. They say, well, Linktree is as good as landing page versus landing page, you know, for a Linktree. So if once again, I'm thinking about beginning entrepreneurs. A lot of people don't, they're afraid of websites. They're like, I'm gonna pay this amount of money, and they're like, oh.
But there's free websites now.
Is there?
Yeah.
So no excuses then.
None. There's none.
So what's the advantage of having a landing page versus having a Linktree? Because a lot of people say Linktree is as good as having a landing page.
Who told you that?
I'm not gonna say these people's name. I don't want to incriminate
Okay,
nobody,
so
you know?
Linktree is convenient. Linktree is convenient.
Mhm.
It's, you know, it's on the mobile device. You're not navigating away from that social media platform. You got, I believe you can put like up to 10 type of other places where you want to link to.
Right.
But what people don't realize is that when people do the Linktree, one of the 10 links is still to that person's website.
Mhm.
So all they're doing is like giving you another step before getting there. The advantage of having a website is not only is it your domain. So if no matter if somebody types in High Crown Marketing or Crystal Hall on the Google page, my website's going to come up. But it helps with SEO marketing.
I'm sorry, Crystal, because she looking over there like she don't understand what SEO
Boy.
is. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
you know,
You gotta-
you know well.
You gotta break it down for
Okay,
people, you know what I'm
so
saying?
the most simplest way to understand is SEO is what is going to have you come up on a Google search page.
Okay.
So if somebody was to type in like real estate Brandon, what is the likelihood that your website would come up on a Google search page versus you coming up in Linktree?
Versus
You know?
Google and Beneficial Bay. Somebody gonna be paying for quesadillas today. To make that bet right now.
So having a website helps a lot because it also helps with your search and people being able to find you. And you know, it's not just Google. There's Yahoo, Bing, Safari. Like there's other search engines that you can come up with by having a website.
Yeah.
And a website allows you to capture more information. Linktree is just, all it is like a cheat code to other websites. It's not bad. I have clients that have Linktree, but they also have a landing page. Like they have a website.
I got you.
Especially if you're selling something.
I'm gonna talk to those people who got the Linktree. You know what I'm saying? No, don't look at me like that.
Do you have a Linktree?
Girl, no.
No, she always. We are debating about Linktree because Nakia needs something for her page, and she was battling with herself. I'm like, no, Linktree is where it's at.
No, I do keep an easy tree.
Easy, but you have
Like on Linktree, but
oh my god.
Yeah, I already have a full
You guys
website.
have to pay her for that.
Yeah, but the reason I do love the links, especially on social media, is because when it comes to closing the deal, people don't want to go to the website and search everything that you did. Either they're going to get overwhelmed by everything you got, or they're going to get confused and say, forget it. You know what I'm saying? So having the links is perfect to say, okay, you go to this page of my website, or that page of my website, or this page of my website, depending on what you're looking for.
Stuff on your website where they get confused?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Whatever y'all want to
So
buy.
we just need to talk.
No, we absolutely. You can go search it. It looks beautiful, and it got categories and stuff. But for a quick, let me get you directly to where you at while you got your Apple Pay ready. Click number 1 or number 2 or number 3. Like if you guys want to go to the business shower, make sure you click number 1. If you want to see the registry for the business shower, make sure you click number 2. If y'all want to subscribe to the podcast, like, share, and comment, make sure you go all the way down. It's the second one from the last one on the Beneficial Pay profile page.
Does it tell you how many people click your Linktree?
Yeah, every single time. How many click and then the follow through, everything.
So do you know how many people go to your website a day?
Yeah.
So you know your analytics.
Absolutely. That's
So-
how I run my
So
business.
what's more important, your Linktree analytics or your website analytics?
Depends on what it is, because not every link goes to my website.
See?
So it depends on what I'm selling.
We need to make sure every link goes to your website.
No,
Why?
because YouTube is not on my website.
Oh.
We're gonna fix
And
that.
Yeah, we
Social
gotta fix
Master.
that.
No, y'all, what y'all talking about?
You don't want YouTube on your website?
Because they can come straight to YouTube. If I take them to an extra step, they're not gonna do it. Same with like Social Master. When they want to click and buy the card, I take them straight to where they need to go. We get the affiliates. It'll tell, because they all give you analytics.
No, wait.
You know?
And listen, we'll be after this one.
Yeah, we go, y'all.
Because I know, because she argumentative, so we don't get into that.
I am not argumentative.
You know what I'm
Brandon
saying?
just be
y'all,
wrong.
watch tapes, y'all see it. You know what I'm saying? So we're
I will see it. They gonna see it.
watch tapes. So question. So we know you. So how do you balance being a mom, being a wife, having your own business, and then looking for prospective clients? Because your business is who you are. Obviously. Patience. How do you do? How you do it all?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience is big.
Yes. So I think like the most important thing is that I include my family in everything. So, you know, when I'm doing like the consultations or when I'm doing the clients or when I'm doing the draft work, like I kind of make it like a group thing, you know, like what do you guys think about the colors? So that they don't think like I'm just like ignoring them, right? Or like I'm just like always busy, but it's patience and then like including them in the conversations, you know, letting them know about the clients that I have, but also like self-care is the best care. So I always make sure that I like, you know, I stick to my hours of creativity. Like I'm available, like these are the time slots I'm available. And then like, you know, I just close out of my computer, close out of my phone and make sure that, you know, whatever it is that I'm focusing on then, like that's what I need to be focused on.
Just shop clothes right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's like the most important thing.
Child labor laws. Nobody worry about that. Shout out to Bree. Thank you, Bree. Thank you. We getting with my daughter. She's 15, so we got her intern right now to help us out on the podcast and whatnot. So yeah, no, you're right. Nobody worry about child labor laws.
Well, yeah, my son is 15.
There we go.
So we love volunteers.
Yeah. right. So what's next up? We got High Crown Marketing. What's next up for you as an individual? What's next up for High Crown Marketing?
So I am locking in a major national brand contract.
Congratulations.
So
Yes,
so I
kudos to
can't
you.
say anything on it yet. But I was very excited. And what's crazy is it's like a really funny story is somebody had sent me a message on Facebook and they were like, hey, what can you do with this picture? And I was like, okay, what are you looking for? You know, like, you know, they wanted to mix and match and blend. I was like, oh, well, yeah, I can do that. You know, sent them an estimate proposal and sent it over. They were like, oh, great. They paid the invoice and then they're like, can we schedule a call? And I was like, yeah, okay, we can schedule a call. And like next thing I know, I'm speaking to the vice president marketing director of this national brand.
Wow.
And that whole message was a test. It was to see my customer service, my communication skills, my professionalism.
That's good.
And it was like, I was in awe because I just really thought like it was just a regular client.
Right.
And then the way that they had found me was through like a Google image search. And it wasn't, you know, it was a branding thing that I had made like a year and a half ago, just, you know, playing with some stuff around. And I had it up and it was like, it was straight God, like straight God in my messages. And I was just like so ecstatic. So it's for a national brand, clothing brand. And they are looking to kind of navigate more into like the athletic wear arena. So yeah, once I can say something, you know, once that's locked in, that would be like the major thing for me. I have been like offered like not major marketing companies, but some that are kind of significant that are like, you know, what's the magic number to take your client base and, you know, taking your expertise and putting under an umbrella. And I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
They say they're trying to recruit you.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that
I
yet.
got you.
Not ready for that yet.
Sounds like you're doing good on your own.
I am. Thank you so much. I appreciate being here with you guys.
No, we appreciate you.
Oh, yes.
I want
Appreciate you
to
sitting
get that nugget that you gave there because like you did the work from a year ago. That wasn't like recent. That was from a year ago.
It was, and I mean, if I look at myself a year ago, I would be like, oh my God, no. Like, you know, like, I'm always so quick to like update my portfolio, like, oh no, that gotta go. But yeah, it was just, you know, it was just so crazy because, you know, when I was like, you know, when you ask somebody like, how'd you hear about me? Like, who referred me? And they did like Microsoft Teams share the screen, and I was like, oh my God, like that's the hardest part of my life. But it was, you know, I was just like, man, I was just so humble then. It was just so crazy, and like I wanted to cry. Where you going? I'm from Cleveland. Cleveland don't get nothing. I was like so happy. So like that's like the major step for me, and I feel like that will definitely kind of be like the gold trophy in my portfolio. There. So and then I am actually working with something pretty big with the city of Cleveland, so that's pretty exciting too. So I always encourage people, like, if you guys see anything that says like freelancer, or if they're looking like for any type of bids, whether it's the city or the county, like just do a proposal and jump on it. Like the worst thing they're gonna say is like either no, but like it still gets your name out there.
Right.
And that's what I do. Like anything that I see, like, oh yep, I could do it. Just, you know, submit my portfolio, proposal, and just wait.
That's good stuff.
It sounds like from your experiences with having the non-compete contracts kind of has you in a place where you know better than to do certain things.
Yes.
Like you said, that you've gotten these offers, but you know better. So, you know, through trial and tribulation, we all go through, and stumbles. You just kind of learn what to do and what not to do as far as business, because we all jump out here with a dream.
Yes.
And it's the business part that's important. And I heard Steve Harvey talking about that on, shout out to Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was a good
Talking
episode, by the
about
way.
that on, yes, very good. Just you know, jumping out here. He knows he's funny. He knows he's making money doing shows and things like that. But took him years to get to the business aspect of it.
Yes.
And sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes you just learn along the way. And like you said, you learned early, and it sounds like it's put you in a place where you can run the show. Basically, like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm still doing my thing and growing my business.
Yes, like it was so heartbreaking because there were things, you know, like there were things I would have never thought of.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was jumping out and, you know, submitting proposals for freelance opportunities, the first question is, you know, are you in an existing non-compete clause with anyone? And I would be like, I don't think so. I don't know. Like, you know, and then it made me like have to go back and look, and it was like, yeah, I am for like 18 months. And I had, you know, I was completely done with the project already. So it was losing out, like, because some of these proposals, they're for like $5,000 to $10,000, you know, in 3 to 6 month time span. So it was like so heartbreaking because I didn't know that.
Sure.
Like, you know, we hear about the rappers signing into 360 deals, and it's like they're like, I still haven't gotten paid for the #1 record. You know, like it you know, to put it in perspective, it was like that. You know, like I'm only getting paid like a couple $100s for an ad that's hitting millions of people.
Right.
But I can't say that I created the ad, and I can't continue that work elsewhere. And it was like my stomach was completely turning.
I'm sure.
You know, to say, you know, for people to say, well, oh, hey, come back and see us in 2 years then. And it was like, you're not going to remember me in 2 years.
Right.
You know, in 2 years, and who knows what's going to be out here. So, yeah, I learned the hard way.
Well, I'm glad you overcame.
So we covered so many like great things tonight. I know I got a lot of stuff. I'm gonna watch it again, by the way. But what are 3 main things you want someone to take away from your interview tonight?
There is no such thing as no. You know, like I said, you don't need to necessarily have the money, but if you have that time and that discipline, because it was times where like I would wake up with a Red Bull and I was like, I'm gonna learn how to do cursive typography today. Then it was times where it was like 2-3 days go by and it was like, oh, I'll do the logo on Saturday because I don't got nothing planned on Saturday. But next thing I know, it's like 2 weeks from that Saturday, and it's like, what are you doing? So it's being able to have that, you know, that discipline and understanding the purpose.
So true.
That's good.
So like that's the one thing. Like, you know, some people always think like, oh, I'm saving up. But it's like, if you got the time and you have the resources, you know, get started. Get started and do it. And then like most importantly is just is networking and communicating.
Mm.
You know, I always like there's no bad way to brand yourself or to get yourself out there. You know, and always be comfortable with having that conversation. I know like a lot of people are introverts, and some of the best brand ambassadors are introverts. But it's, you know, being able to still connect. I think that's like the most important thing, is just being able to connect and cultivate relationships. Because it's people that like I've met months ago, and they come back around like, hey, you know, don't you do flyers? Don't you? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you know what? I'm gonna send you some information to make one for me. And it's like, oh, okay. And I don't even remember where I met these people from.
You're doing it.
But you know, it's always good like leave an impression. Always, always.
That's good stuff right there. So okay, so where can the people reach you at? What I know you got a couple of pages, but I want to make sure they get to.
Yes, so my business page is at High Crown Marketing. So it's on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, highcrownmarketing.com, and I always make sure that I post and everything is relevant. And my books are open for May. And I do everything from graphic design, social media marketing, website design and development, SEO marketing, and print design and advertising.
That's good stuff. So do you offer mentorship?
Of course, yes, I do.
I'll sign up later on. So it's cool.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
I do.
He's a slow learner.
Emphasis on slow.
Damn, y'all. You better than that, y'all.
It's the yellow, just like the traffic lights. That's part of your brand. Slow.
The traffic light?
She rubbed off on me, y'all.
Man, I know, man. Like, we better than this. We better than this, man. But now, you know what I'm saying? It's cool.
I'm just playing.
I don't get some reinforcement.
Yeah, he knows we love him.
Where Michael?
No, he's slow. That's
Where
what you
Michael?
want to say.
I'm gonna call Michael up. Michael, my reinforcements. That's what I call up.
You see, he was like, no, y'all gonna.
That's right. Shout out to Michael, by the way. You know what I'm saying? My man,
Shout
Michael.
out to
It's all
St.
love.
Patrick.
It's all
I
love.
appreciate it.
Mm.
So do you have to pay some bills? No.
Go ahead. Let's pay some bills.
You know what? I'm gonna do it this week. I'm gonna pay some bills this week.
Pay some
I've been learning from the master herself.
Awesome.
So I want to start off by saying thank you to you guys for watching, because you guys are what help us get here to anyway, right? But
Yes.
we're gonna first shout out to you wines. As you guys can tell, we got the Riesling wine right here. I can't do it like Marquis. I try, y'all. I try.
Don't pass it down.
Right.
It's
Two
That's right.
wines. Make sure y'all stop
Straight
in
to
to Cleveland's premier wine
I'll give it a shot.
boutique. Shout out to the owner and master
Yes.
crafter herself, Nakia Hudson. She is here Thursdays through Saturdays. The address is 4425 Mayfield Road,
Okay.
South Euclid, Ohio 44121. Now, a lot of wines y'all know ain't all of that,
They
or
are
they
not.
super sweet, or too dry. But if you want something that's make you want to toast to you or even get too nasty, definitely hit up To You Wines. They do tastings. They do signature brand drink. So if you want to have a signature drink for your establishment, whether you are a restaurant or anything else, no. We've been hinting at the fact Sundays might be a wave. So I will let y'all know when it's official, but Sundays might be a little wave too. And y'all might catch me in here eating
We're gonna be up
drinks.
here.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Brush it out.
But
Eat
for
good.
sure, make sure y'all hit up To You Wines. That's 4425 Mayfield Road. Also, while we're talking about business cards, let's talk about our digital business cards with our social master sponsors.
Yes.
If you are out and you are tired of handing out paper cards and people acting like they lost them, don't worry about it. If you can't get Crystal to hook you up with something memorable, you definitely got Social Master with a QR code and an NFC chip. So all they got to do is get close enough to you. Your profile will come up. It'll have all of your information, your website, all payment information, all social media links. They can easily add you to contacts, have your information in their phone. It is like magic.
And
then
Crystal
they
can
always
get
go
all
back.
that together too.
Absolutely, your landing pages and everything else where when we get in there. Obviously, y'all, High Crown Marketing is today's sponsor. If you are looking for a logo, any type of social media management, website development, or anything in between when it comes to branding and marketing, make sure y'all hit up the queen of High Crown Marketing yourselves. Also, if you're going to be outside and you're trying to make an impression, I would be remiss if I did not shout out our partners at all occasions. Now, y'all know they got a little bit of everything. Y'all seen our episode, okay? But the large marquee letters and lights and numbers. We also have throne chairs, any type of party event rentals. They are literally available for all occasions.
And she makes them herself.
She does. It's a whole vibe out here in the city, y'all. I'm not playing. Also, mark your calendars. May the 6th, we will be celebrating our 50th episode, and we are getting together at Tower City Center that Friday evening. We will be having a culmination of all of our guests who are obviously invited. Full-fledged party. Make sure you guys hit the link in our description below to make sure that you register. Hold your space, because we do need to know who coming for real.
Absolutely.
So hold your space so we can make sure it's enough of everything for everybody. Great place to network, get together, and help us celebrate, because 50 episodes, it's a whole vibe. We're at over 4,000 viewers. Y'all continue to support us, and we just love and appreciate y'all, and would love to see y'all in person and tell you that.
Yes.
On top of that, we've been saying it throughout the episode, but I would be remiss if I did not talk about my bro Brandon as not your average agent on Instagram. Now, one thing about him is he really is not your average agent. He will walk you through the process all the way from getting you approved with your credit, help you find the perfect house or dwelling. Even if you want to be an agent, he out here helping y'all get to the right brokerage in the city. Make sure y'all hit my bro up and let him know Beneficial Bay sent you. He did, and I'm about to go collect. Don't even worry about it.
And guess what Beneficial Bay has going on?
There we go.
Beneficial Bay has her own place now.
Yes.
She has her own office. She has a nice conference room, and guess what?
Like, doing big things, y'all.
It's a business shower. So Beneficial Bay wants everybody to come out.
Yes.
It's gonna be food, games, lots of fun.
Yes.
Come meet Beneficial Bay in person if you don't know her already. I know y'all know her, but she wants to see you to celebrate. She wants you guys to come out and celebrate.
You know what? I might get an updated one. You know what I'm saying? Come in looking like, I might get a green one looking like money. I got that from Crystal's last event. You know what I'm saying? I seen Crystal at the last one. I was like, hold
Yes. Manifest the millions.
Yes.
Yes. Tell them about the details about your shower.
Oh, y'all can click the link in the description below, but it will be May 22nd. Pull up on me. Now, once y'all pull up and actually RSVP, there's 2 ways you can do it. You RSVP online, you go to the website or my Easy Tree, and make sure that you guys sign up. Once you sign up, your RSVP is already the investment in the business. You don't even have to show up with a gift for the shower. If for whatever reason you're not going to be able to make it, because we know outside open, everybody got plans, whatever, it's cool, but you still want to invest in making and building the office and making it what it is. We need everything from post-its to highlighters to paint on the walls. So the registry is the second link in the bio. You can also hit up and just send a gift through the registry. Either way, I appreciate you for thinking about me. I also accept prayers, y'all, because somebody been looking out, and I don't know which one or a group of y'all, but I appreciate y'all all. So keep them coming, because they working, okay? Last but not least, y'all, I gotta make sure we shout out everybody behind the camera. If y'all don't know, my boy Steve, he is out of this world, and that's why he calls his business Alien Eyes Photos. If you are looking for event photography or videography for your business, even headshots and product placement photos, this is the person you definitely want to reach out to. That's Alien Eyes with a Z Photos. And we also have our homegirl Angie at Where's Our Low. Make sure you hit her up if you guys are looking for a more high-end Vogue fashion finish and just an eye for detail, a creative design, and anything when it comes to your marketing, branding, and any type of advertisements that you guys are looking to do. Hit my people up and tell them Beneficial Bay sent you. Other than that, I think that's it for real. I think we're pretty good.
Can we just give you a
I mean, you know what? We take for granted, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't have her.
I know.
Y'all can't have her.
I don't take her for granted.
Brandon is a hater.
I'm giving you proud. I'm saying, because no, because like every week we get somebody to go, I'm about to steal her. Y'all can't have Beneficial Bay. She gang over
That
there,
is
man.
our new thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we appreciate you. You know what
I
I'm saying?
love y'all though. That's
You
one
do
thing
your
I
thing.
can say. Y'all are an amazing team.
We are.
Yeah.
We
God
pretty
bless you,
dope.
them, y'all. Wait till I
I
get my
love
laces
you
so I
all.
can really see them. Okay, it's over. It's over. Oh, so y'all will catch me missing in action. I'm actually about to get LASIK for real. So y'all gonna catch me missing in action for a couple episodes, but I'll be back. Make
We'll
sure
track
y'all
it
still
down.
be there. Make sure y'all tune in with me because I'll still be watching on the back end, and I'll
We
be
know
checking the
y'all watching for
analytics as we
beneficial
say.
We
baby.
know it.
Still watching.
No,
y'all.
no,
We
no.
know y'all watching for
We'll
her.
get a phone
Still
board.
stay tuned
Put
in.
the phone
Right.
board right
Exactly.
See,
Yeah.
Chris be thinking.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
she
all we
thinking.
need. Bam, pop up for real.
Right.
Pull up on you. Pop up on you. Take my stand out.
What's episode 45? Oh, you got the 45 episode. You get the Jordan retired jersey. Okay, all right.
This is 45.
This is 45.
Right.
Roll to 50. Coming up, y'all.
The road to 50.
Road to
We want to
50,
see
man.
everybody there.
Yep. Well, until next time, guys. Thank you guys once again for watching, subscribing, liking. Can't let y'all know.
Yes.
Peace.
Next time, y'all.
Bye.
Boom.
Great episode, Crystal.
I hope you cut off that boom at the end. And
Nope,
the beginning.
I'm leaving it
That little
in.
bit